Most people don't realize when they're dating a narcissist, not because they're blind, but because narcissists don't walk into your life as monsters. They walk in as everything you ever wanted. They melt into your world like a shadow, quiet, patient, calculated, and by the time you finally see who they really are, you're already too deep inside the trap. You know what makes narcissists so dangerous? It's not the lies, it's not the attitude, it's not even the cheating. It's this: they can hurt you deeply without ever lifting a finger, just by shifting reality, just by twisting your mind, just by turning your truth into confusion. And the darkest part? Most victims don't even realize what's happening to them until years have passed. If you're watching this, there's a reason you either met one, dated one, escaped one, or you're still trying to understand why someone you trusted made you feel small, confused, guilty, and invisible. Today, I'm going to show you how to recognize a narcissist long before they destroy your sense of self. And trust me, once you see these signs clearly, you will never unsee them again. The foundational signs you're dating a narcissist. Let's start with the basics. The traits that Dr. Ramani, one of the world's leading experts on narcissism, says you'll always see in a true narcissist. And I want you to listen carefully, because this isn't about throwing labels around. This is about understanding patterns that destroy people silently. Number 1, lack of empathy. This is the core. Narcissists don't feel what you feel. They don't connect emotionally. They don't care how their actions affect you. They can watch you cry and feel nothing. They can hurt you and feel justified. They don't respond to your pain. They respond to inconvenience. Number 2, entitlement. A narcissist believes the world owes them something. Special treatment, special attention, special rules. You exist to supply them with validation. And when you stop supplying, they rage, blame, punish, or disappear. Number 3, grandiosity. Narcissists live in a fantasy where they are superior, unique, chosen. They inflate their achievements, their talents, their importance. They don't want love, they want admiration. They need an audience, not a partner. Number 4, obsession with appearance and status. They care more about looking good than being good. How they appear publicly matters more than who they are privately. A beautiful facade with nothing behind it. It's all surface, no depth. Number 5, emotional immaturity. Narcissists cannot regulate emotion. They go from 0 to 100 instantly. Tantrums, rage, cold silence, explosive reactions when they don't get their way. They can be 40 years old and still behave like an angry 5-year-old. Number 6, hypersensitivity to criticism. Even the smallest critique feels like a personal attack. Tell them, "You hurt my feelings." And watch how fast they flip it on you. Suddenly you're the problem. You're overreacting. You're sensitive. You're crazy. They would rather destroy you than admit a flaw in themselves. But one trait isn't enough. Just because someone has 1 or 2 traits doesn't make them a narcissist. We all know someone who loves their appearance. We all know someone who gets angry. We all know someone who wants to look good in photos. That's not narcissism. Narcissism is a pattern, a system, a cycle, a relentless mix of emotional immaturity, lack of empathy, and entitlement that repeats every day. She lists 30 traits in her work, but she says the 6 core traits almost always show up together. If you see all 6, it's time to pay attention. Number 7, additional red flags. Let's go deeper. Jealousy, not normal jealousy, possessive jealousy. They hate when you get attention because it threatens their ego. Disloyalty. They cheat, they lie, they betray trust, not because they need it, but because they can. Taking pleasure in hurting others. This is the darkest part. Watching someone break, gives them a sense of power. Empty loyalty, they demand loyalty but give none in return. Why you miss these signs? Because narcissists are not loud in the beginning. They're charming, confident, magnetic, even intoxicating. They hide their traits until you're invested. Once they know you care, they show who they really are. And that's why this topic is so important. Most people don't recognize narcissists early enough, but now you will. In the next scene, we're going into the darkest part of narcissistic relationships: gaslighting, the psychological weapon that makes you question your memory, your perception, and eventually your entire identity. This is where the real damage happens, and once you understand it, you will never fall for it again. If you're still watching this, something in you recognized the pattern, a memory, a wound, a person you still can't let go of. Most people click away. You didn't, and that means one thing: you're searching for answers no one ever gave you. If you want to understand this psychology before it shatters you again, subscribe. Not for me, for the version of you who refuses to repeat the same pain. If scene 1 showed you who narcissists are, scene 2 shows you how they get inside your mind, how they twist reality, how they make you mistrust your own thoughts, even when the truth is right in front of you. This tactic destroys people silently. It's called gaslighting. What gaslighting really is? Gaslighting isn't a disagreement. It isn't two people remembering something differently. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It's when someone denies what happened, attacks your perception, invalidates your feelings, and rewrites reality in real time. They deny your reality so intensely, you start doubting your mind. It's not a mistake, it's not confusion, it's control. How narcissists gaslight you. It begins slowly. 1. They deny what they said. You bring up something painful. They say, "I never said that." You imagined it. You twist everything. It's not disagreement, it's erasure. 2. They invalidate your feelings. You say, "I felt hurt." They respond, "You have no right to feel that way. You're dramatic. You're too sensitive." Your emotions become the enemy. 3. They replace your reality with theirs. Little by little, you trust their version of events more than your own. 4. And eventually, you crack. You whisper to yourself, "Am I wrong? Am I remembering this correctly? Is something wrong with me?" The moment doubt replaces certainty is when the narcissist wins. The voice memo moment. It's the point where you think, "I need to record our conversations just to stay grounded in reality." In healthy relationships, you don't need evidence. But with a narcissist, you start collecting proof to convince yourself that things happen the way you remember. If you feel the need to record your partner, it may be time to leave. You're not documenting them, you're defending your sanity. Why gaslighting works. Gaslighting works because 1. Most people doubt themselves first. We assume we misunderstood. Narcissists count on that. 2. It's slow and subtle. Not one big lie, 1,000 small distortions. 3. Narcissists lie with total confidence. No hesitation, no guilt, no doubt. Confidence is convincing. 4. They isolate you emotionally. They make you feel dramatic, unstable, overreactive until you stop sharing things with others, until you stop trusting yourself, until you depend on their version of reality. Isolation gives them full psychological control. The identity damage. Gaslighting eats your identity from the inside. It destroys your memory, your emotions, your intuition, your confidence, your sense of self. It doesn't leave bruises, it leaves confusion, silence, doubt, and a version of you that no longer recognizes itself. This is why gaslighting is one of the most dangerous forms of psychological abuse. The wounds are invisible but unforgettable. Gaslighting is the narcissist's favorite weapon. Quiet, calm, devastating. Now that you understand how it works, you're ready for the next step. Why do narcissists behave like this? What's broken inside them that makes them destroy everyone around them? Scene 3 takes you into their mind, their ego, their envy, their rage, the engine behind their chaos. Inside the mind of the narcissist. If gaslighting is how a narcissist breaks your reality, Scene 3 explains why they do it and what's broken inside them that creates so much destruction. Because their cruelty isn't random, their jealousy isn't accidental, their rage isn't a mood swing. Everything they do comes from a damaged mind that's constantly fighting for survival. So let's open the door to the place a narcissist never wants you to see, their inner world. The ego that can't survive reality. Narcissists look confident, but it's fake, a costume, a performance. Beneath that charm and superiority is a painfully fragile ego, so fragile that the smallest criticism feels like an attack. A simple boundary feels like abandonment. Even the word no feels like humiliation. They can't handle being wrong. They can't handle being questioned. They can't handle being ordinary. So what do? They defend themselves with denial, blame, projection, superiority, rage, emotional punishment. It's not real strength. It's a scared child hiding inside an adult body. Why they hurt the ones who love them. Narcissists don't attack strangers. They attack the people who get close. Why? 1. You see their flaws and they can't tolerate that. 2. Your needs feel like criticism. Any request becomes a threat. 3. Your emotions overwhelm them. Empathy is a language they never learned. 4. Your success triggers their envy. You're not supposed to shine brighter than them. It threatens their survival. They hurt the people who love them because love makes them feel exposed, and exposure makes them feel weak, and weakness is their biggest fear. The rage engine. Narcissistic rage is an adult tantrum powered by a wounded child. Their rage looks like yelling, silent treatment, stonewalling, emotional shutdown, passive-aggressive punishment, withdrawal of affection. You didn't cause the rage, you just triggered the crack in their ego. And instead of healing the crack, they punish you for revealing it. When two narcissists date, a psychological cage fight. This is where it gets dark. Two narcissists dating each other is not a relationship. It's a war of egos. No empathy, no one listens, no one validates, no emotional safety. Everything is a threat. Everything is a competition. Validation becomes currency. Each partner only values the other as long as it boosts their image. A psychological cage fight. Two fragile egos fighting for dominance. Two people who need admiration but can't give any. Two mirrors with nothing behind them. Why it looks perfect and dies fast. At the beginning, they look powerful, beautiful, magnetic, almost cinematic. But it's not love, it's branding. Two people obsessed with image, curating each other like trophies. But the illusion collapses when admiration fades, jealousy spikes, control slips, someone feels criticized, someone stops performing, and when the collapse comes, it's explosive because neither partner can lose, neither can apologize, neither can accept fault, neither can be human. That's why these relationships almost never survive. Now you've seen what lives inside the narcissist, the ego, the fear, the rage, the emptiness. But knowing their mind is only half of your power. The real question is, how do you escape? How do you heal? How do you rebuild your identity after loving someone who never loved you back? Scene 4 takes you there, and it's the part most people never hear. Escaping the cycle, Freud, recovery, and the final warning. You've seen how they think, you've seen how they break you, Now comes the hardest truth of all. Most people don't escape a narcissist. They escape and then they go back. Not because they're weak, but because narcissists don't just take your love. They take something far more dangerous, your perception of yourself. And if you don't rebuild that, you'll repeat the pattern with a different face and the same wound. So let's talk about how to break the cycle before it breaks you again. Why narcissists can't change. Freud believed narcissists are stuck emotionally, frozen at a stage where empathy never formed and shame feels unbearable. That creates 3 permanent internal flaws. 1, shame intolerance. Even a small mistake feels like death to the ego, so they deny, deflect, attack. 2, emotional immaturity. They react to discomfort like a child trapped in an adult's body. 3, fragile ego structure. Everything feels like a threat. Boundaries, honesty, your success, even your independence. You can't fix this for them. Your love won't heal them. Your patience won't change them. Because narcissism isn't a behavior issue, it's a structure issue. You can't remodel a house that's collapsing from the inside. Radical acceptance, the real beginning. It means stop hoping they'll change. Stop waiting for apologies. Stop believing the fantasy they used to hook you. You accept that. They are who they are. They won't become who you imagined. They won't suddenly grow empathy. They won't develop remorse. This acceptance hurts, but it sets you free because you can't heal from a story you're still pretending is real. The addiction to the narcissist. People don't stay for love. They stay because of trauma bonding. The cycle: love bombing, abuse, apology, hope, collapse, repeat. This cycle rewires your brain. Unpredictability releases dopamine. You get addicted to the highs. Their rare affection becomes a reward. The relief feels like love. You chase the version of them they showed at the start, but that version was never real. It was bait. Once you understand the addiction, you weaken its power. How to actually escape. Leaving a narcissist is not a dramatic exit. It's a strategic disconnection. 1. Go silent internally before you go silent externally. Detach your emotions. Stop reacting. Stop explaining. 2. Lower expectations to 0. Expecting empathy is self-destruction. 3. Build a quiet support system. Narcissists isolate you. You must rebuild connection. 4. Go low contact or no contact. Silence is not revenge, it's protection. 5. Document what matters. Not to prove anything to them, but to stay grounded in reality after months of lies and distortion. You don't win by fighting them, you win by starving them of access to your mind. How to heal after the damage. Healing begins when you stop seeing yourself through their eyes. You rebuild your identity because they erased it. Your intuition because they made you doubt it. Your confidence because they attacked it. Your emotions because they invalidated them. Your boundaries because they broke everyone. Healing isn't